I was on the treadmill today and I was listening to an audiobook that was talking about how authenticity and being able to tap into that is in fact a deep need for humankind to feel its most full. So for me in my work and what I do in my kind of core thought process, there is a deep link between the word success, authenticity, and branding. And I would love to draw that picture for you today. When we think about the word success, what we're talking about is very much steeped in what Aristotle would call Nicomachean ethics, right? It's very much an idea that at its core, there is something for each individual that is called human flourishing. And if and when society allows for each human to have their basic needs met, then that individual is able to tap into what it means for them to touch this thing called human flourishing. Now, for my sensibilities, human flourishing for each individual person can be touched most aptly when you incorporate the work of calling, understanding that there's something intrinsically designed for you to do in the earth while you're here, right? And so that work is in fact your most purposeful work. And so then you would in fact feel most successful and or happy by being able to pursue that work. So let me kind of caveat that for just a moment. But the idea of success then is when you close your eyes and when you cast a vision of who you are, what you want to do, and who you want to be. The who you want to be, the space that is between where you are and where you want to go and what you want to do in the middle, that in fact makes up your life of success. Now, the who you want to be does in fact incorporate who you are authentically. Who you are right now is who you are right now. Who you are authentically is the person that you have to work for. Now let me explain. In your lifetime, you've gone through things. You've had exposure to things. You've had exposure to people, to conversations, to words, to influences is what I call them. Things that have come to kind of shape who you are at this moment. But who you are at this moment might not, in fact, be the person that you are most authentically. Do you ever look in the mirror and feel like you're not quite looking at you? Do you ever look at your life the way that it is and think, man, this isn't me? Or look at your body and say, man, this isn't my body. Man, this isn't my... If you've ever had one of those kinds of thoughts, then you're in that stage where you are who you are and you're wonderful just as you are. But who you are authentically is the person you have to work to be, right? Because even though it's your authentic state, because of the influences of life, you have now become a bit covered. Your authenticity has become a bit covered. So touching your authenticity does in fact require deep internal work. Now, authenticity requires internal work. Now, in order for you to know who you are authentically, you've got to create space for that. The work of authenticity is the work of a silent practice of allowing the truth of who you were always intended to be to come up to the top, above the influences, above your own perceptions of yourself even, above who you've been all this time, right? To really get to this place where the defense mechanisms that you have, the walls that you've put up, the guardrails, the stuff that we do in order to survive, those things are able to be dealt with, managed, addressed, and looked at in a way that allow you to decide who you are going to be, because that's who you want to be. That is possible for you. The work of success, on the other hand, is the work of casting a vision. It's the work of closing your eyes and being deeply honest with yourself. If all of my basic human needs were met, if I had all my bills paid, if I had all these things done, and I always reference this $20 million question, right? Like, so the $20 million question, if I had $20 million in the bank, what would I do every day? That is your life and vision of success. So if you can take your vision of success, who you are authentically, including all the lessons that you've learned up till now, here is where the word branding enters in. And this is where they're all linked together. Branding is an opportunity for you to show up in the world authentically as yourself, working toward your vision of success. It is the opportunity for your wisdom and your likeness to come together in a way that allow you to work toward your vision of success, to work toward the life that probably includes some sort of freedom-based lifestyle. If you're here, you're definitely attached to the freedom-based lifestyle. You want to work less, you want to travel more, you want to be on, a situation where you're able to kind of move how you want to move. So then if that's the case, and that is inclusive of your life and your vision of success, then the word branding comes in to bridge the gap of those two things. That the more you work to become authentically who you were always intended to be before the influences, and allowing that authenticity to come up to the top and lead the charge of your life, then you are now able to implement a brand that allows you to work towards your life and vision of success, right? So the brand thing is really just like a container for you to make your authenticity digestible to other people. So that includes creating some sort of coaching program or some sort of course or some sort of consultancy that you can then show up in the world with. You don't have to have like a brick and mortar shop with 2 to 3 employees and that kind of a thing. What you're looking for here is just an opportunity for you to share out loud what you've learned and who you are from your authentic vantage point with your section of the world. That is the most important thing. And so then if you're able to show up in the world authentically and present that through a container that your section of the world can ingest, then you have more of an opportunity to reach and achieve this vision of success that you have been casting for yourself. In this season of your life, I really want to encourage you to invest in your authenticity and to invest in your vision of success, your ability to see forward what is next for you in this next season of your life. The vision keeps you looking forward. The authenticity keeps you honest. It keeps you growing. It keeps you healthy. It keeps you manifesting. It keeps you marching to the beat of your own drum, which is deeply important in this world. For you to remain and be and become more of who you are and who you were always meant to be in this life is in fact the most important thing. And the more you allow yourself to do that, the closer to happiness, real happiness, you in fact will be. So remember, no matter where you are on this journey, first, create space for your authenticity. But remember, you are great, you are called, you are worthy, and you have value, period.